Hi, everybody. This is Stacy Davis, and this is Module 11. I am going to talk to you about net neutrality and zero rating. My presentation is on zero rating and its puppets. So a quick overview, net neutrality and zero rating. Net neutrality, what that means is let's have a fair playing field. Let's not pick favorites. Let's not show favorites. Let's let the consumers decide what they like, what they want to access, and what is successful. It lets the consumer decide what's going to be successful. It doesn't let somebody else have an unfair advantage just because they have more money. Zero rating is the exact opposite. It offers free access and therefore shows favoritism. The free access goes to people who can afford to pay for those fees, those charges incurred, so they can offer that service for free to consumers. So understandably, this is only going to work for businesses that can afford to cover that charge. Looking at this even further, the President of the United States has said that net neutrality should exist because it protects democracy and what our country stands for, what our consumer behavior is, because it gives consumers the choice, whereas zero rating does not. So going into the need for net neutrality, we look at fair access and, what that means. So we need fair access so that we can control our lives. We don't need the big businesses that can do it, that can afford to do it, controlling everything. Because when you look at it, if you look at like your cable provider, your internet provider, you are forced into one, and people are not happy about that. That means that you have worse service, your customer service isn't going to be good, the actual product suffers. That's why fair access is needed, because when there's healthy competition and the competition has to fight it out between each other, they focus on putting out a good product and protecting the consumer. Looking at an example of where zero rating came into play and had good intentions but came out with a bad result is with Netflix. Netflix was attempting to avoid overage charges for the customers. So what they did is they offered their content as zero rating, but in doing that, they slowed down the speeds and they offered it at less of a quality. And so in turn, customers or consumers were getting really mad, and they figured it was their internet that was having the problem. It wasn't Netflix. So that kind of falsely represented what was going on, and that's part of the reason why, these net neutrality things cause problems. The zero rating things cause problems. Looking at zero ratings a little bit further, it's not all bad. When you look at something like what AT&T and DirecTV are doing, they offer free content, because of the merge. If you have AT&T, you can watch any of DirecTV shows from your phone for free because it's zero rated. And that's nice because it protects the consumer, but it also hurts other consumers and it hurts other things. Like, what if you don't have DirecTV? What if you're Time Warner Cable? And then you have AT&T and Time Warner. Well, now you're hurting, and that's not fair. And you can't watch your stuff, but other people can, and you're suffering. T-Mobile has a way around this. T-Mobile really protects the customer because they offer unlimited data plans. So that way, none of this zero rating matters. From the business standpoint, zero rating, what it does is with increased competition comes with decreased options. So what happens with zero rating is it's all that matters becomes a money game. Money wins. Whoever has the most money and can afford to pay off all these charges so people can view their content for free, they will win. They will be popular. They will be who people use, because eventually it'll be all people want that free thing. So it'll be all that they go to, and everybody else will lose out. The problem with this is consumers aren't given a choice, and this is where the issue comes in is zero rating. It chooses for the customer. We choose what cars we want to drive. We choose what grocery stores we want to shop at. We choose what we want to wear. But we can't choose our internet providers, and therefore what they do controls everything that we can use on the internet, which the internet is no longer, a personal want, personal choice. It's something that we all need to get along with our lives now, to get on and do our work and succeed at life. And so we're not given a choice, and we have to go with, because things are so expensive, we end up having to go with whatever has the most money at that time to be zero rated. What we get down to is zero rating for all. So the real issue with this is it revolves around internet service providers' cost of data. You can go on and say what you want about how well zero rating is meant to be good. Net neutrality kind of undermines, ethical values because it impedes people, because it's making businesses have to choose. But zero rating really what it all revolves around is, why are we paying for data in the first place? It used to be free, so why are we paying for it in the first place? All it is the real issue is data was made a commodity that's controlled by internet service providers, and the internet service providers are upset that zero rating needs to be controlled, so that's why they're not dealing with this well. The government, what we get into with this is government control of a commodity versus a necessity. So, the government typically is laissez-faire. They stay out of business and operations and things like that. But, the consumers don't have an option. So what is happening is consumers are being manipulated and having to go with what is zero rated, even if it's not what they really actually want. They're just being forced into that because these internet service providers are racking up the rates so high that they're really controlling all aspects of it. So what it comes down to is, if you can't have net neutrality and zero rating. So you can't have them both. So what it needs to be is, there needs to either be zero rating for all with unlimited data, or no zero rating at all and the data continues. These are my references that I used throughout this, and that is that. Thanks.